It is National Donate Life Month. This time, every year, WTOL likes to team up with our friends at Life Connections of Ohio for the Big Green Chair Sit-In, which I am sitting in here today to help shine a light on the importance of organ donation. John Fleischmann joining us here in this 6 o'clock half hour to talk a little bit about how this operation has affected his life. And I say that both literally and figuratively, John. You are a kidney recipient, 8 years now. Talk about how your life came to a screeching halt before that operation.
Well, essentially, when I was born with hydronephrosis, it kind of hindered any wishful thinking that I could have growing up. So the big dream mentality that you have when you're growing up as a kid just kind of went out the door because I always lived with the what if mindset. So it finally came to a halt when I was about 21.
John, do you remember the waiting period for getting that kidney?
Yeah, it was about 3 years, but I was listed at 2 transplant facilities, so they were able to almost combine the time together so that way things could move up a little bit faster. So all in all, I waited about 1.5 years.
You're a musician, as I understand, and this was one of those things that waiting and waiting for that transplant and that donation kind of affected things as far as you're touring the country as I hear it.
Yeah. So prior to my transplant, again, the what if mindset just kind of took away any thoughts I had of even touring the country or playing music with my friends to the full capacity that I wanted. So there was really no point in dreaming that big. But once I had the transplant, it was just like, let's go, let's do it. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
John, we've heard from those, you a recipient, we've heard from the donor families who look at their family as superheroes for doing this, giving the gift of life. Have you met the donor, and what do you have to say to those who are maybe a little hesitant to give this gift of life?
I personally have not met my donor family. I wish I have, but my transplant was about 8 years ago. I understand there's a grieving process and everything, but I've reached out a couple times, so hopefully I'll hear back at some point because I would love to connect with them. But for any families out there that are wondering any sort of like if they should donate or anything, there's so many misconceptions that could hinder your decision. Mm-hmm. But honestly, it's all just misconceptions, and the best thing you can do is just go to Life Connections and just do the research and understand that it's truly the gift of life that you'll be doing.
And it is amazing hearing the stories that we have heard each and every year. And what have you learned as far as Life Connection and the work it does over the last few years?
They do really, really amazing things, and they change the lives of so many people, myself included. So I try to be involved with them as much as possible.
Well, and I'll wrap up by just, people at home trying to wrap their mind around, I guess, their life coming to a screeching halt. And do you think the last 8 years, what would the last 8 years have been like for you had you not received that gift of life?
Had I not received the gift of life, I would probably be hooked up to dialysis, or I wouldn't be here. And that thought right there, I haven't thought about that, but that's really scary. And, the last 8 years with what I'm doing now, it's just been busy. I've been living my life to the fullest, really.
Absolutely, because of that selfless act. John, listen, we know it's one of those things that this day is a day of pride and a day of thanks for a lot of folks out there, you being one of them. We appreciate your time so much here on our broadcast.
Thank you.
Absolutely. If you want to learn more about organ and tissue donation, how to become a donor, go to the website lifeconnection.org.